I'm sitting in my house, probably 3 years into the church. I'm preparing a message on evangelism, trying to get our church to evangelize. And I hear the Lord say to me, I have a lesson for you to learn before you preach this. I said, what do you want me to do, Lord? He says, I want you to go and cut your neighbor's grass. Now, my neighbor had been on vacation for a while, so his grass had grown up to about this height. It definitely needed cutting. But I had a little tiny lawnmower with a bag on the back of it. So I said, Lord, I'm a pastor of a church. I've got to prepare a message for the people tomorrow on evangelism, and you want me to take 3 hours and cut this man's grass? He said, just go do it. 3 months later, I'm sitting there on Saturday morning preparing another message, and I hear this bang, bang, bang on the door, and it's this man's wife. And she's frantic. And she says, you've got to come over here, Dennis. She says, Bill is losing it. And I'm thinking to myself, that's the last thing I need to be doing on a Saturday morning is getting involved in a domestic dispute. But again, the Lord said, go over there and just try to talk him down a little bit. So I go over there. And sure enough, I walk into the bedroom. He's laying in the bed, not in the bedroom, but he's on the other side of his bed, sitting on the floor. And he looks up to me. I'll never forget this as long as I live. He looks up to me and he says something I completely did not expect him to say. He goes, Dennis, did you cut my grass? I said, Bill, we don't need to talk about cutting grass right now. I said, we need to. No, I need to know, did you cut my grass? I said, yes, I did. And he says, why did you cut my grass? Why did you cut my grass? And I told him the story. I told him the whole story. And I said, I think for this moment right here, Jesus wants you to know how much he loves you. I cut your grass because I love you. I care for you. He starts crying. He receives Jesus right there on his bed. When you serve people, it opens their heart to the gospel. Instead of complaining about your neighbors, serve them.